Hello there, friends. Thank you for joining me today for this ministry moment. I'm sorry. It went by another name in my other church, my previous church. And I wanted to just tell you how thankful I am that you're joining us. I would invite you, if you would, to tell others about these little moments, I guess, and invite them to join us too. If you can't make it to church, or if you want to check us out first, then be sure to watch these and you make a decision. I hope they're valuable for you, though. Many of you know the name of Bruce Larson. He is an author of many Christian bestsellers. He has also pastored a church in New York City, which is down in the midst of everything in Manhattan. He tells the story of having a number of people who go to his church, and then some of them come by his office, and they're struggling with their own faith, or what's probably a better description, a lack thereof of their own faith. And they want to change, but they're just not sure that they believe or not. I've seen that in many of my churches, and I kind of call it a little nudge to fall off of the cliff in people like that. That's my job. But we have to have our own communion with God before we can choose to believe and be enabled by Him to believe. Anyway, Larson talks about this whole phenomenon, and he says, for many years I counseled at my office a number of people who were wrestling with the decision to surrender their lives to Christ. In one particular instance, he talked to a fellow for a while, and then he suggested that they walk to a nearby structure, the RCA building on Fifth Avenue. And the entrance has a statue, gigantic statue, I'm told, of Atlas. You know, the mythical figure that carries the entire world on his shoulders. He is depicted as being the strongest man in the world. But oftentimes we don't look at that as being a symbol of strength. We look at it as being a symbol of stress. We're stressed. We don't know what to do about all the things that perplex us. And we say that we're carrying the entire world on our shoulders. Well, after that, Larson took his friend on another short walk, and this was over to St. Patrick's Cathedral. Beautiful, beautiful church in the middle of downtown Manhattan. And there you can see behind the high altar another statue, not quite as big, not quite as gaudy, but it's a statue of not the baby Jesus, but a child Jesus, who is also holding the world, but in this one he is holding the world in the palm of his hand. And unlike the Atlas statue, who's carrying the world on his shoulders and barely can do so, Jesus is holding the world in his hand. And he is showing no stress at all. And Larson puts at the end of this little story, we have a choice. We can carry the world on our shoulders, and so many more times than we can count we have. Or we can give our whole world to Christ and let Him carry it for us. I hope this week you'll dwell on that question, and if it's something that means something to you, I would invite you to pray about it and see what God reveals to you. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Hope to see you on Sunday, but I also hope to see you next week in our next episode, I like to call them that, of our ministry moments.